Hello and welcome back to the Morning Skate podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell as we gloat about a gold medal for the next 90 minutes. Let's get into it.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
Yes, that's right, DJ. This is now a Caroline Harvey podcast. How are you doing on a fine Wednesday evening?
Well done. Good. Yeah, I mean, great. It was a very successful Olympics, no matter what anyone wants to,
Fuck yourself. Come on, out of the gate.
Who won? Me or somebody else?
Only you. Only you. Oh my God, we went 30 seconds. We went 30 seconds.
When is a better time to get to the good stuff? I mean, what did people come here and want to listen to other than me brag about winning some daily fantasy slates for the Olympics? That's all that people want to hear about.
Is an understatement. It was every single slate, I'm pretty sure.
It was every single day. It just kept happening. Yeah, this also is true. Both teams said everyone was getting all the quotes misconstrued. It was all them saying that I won and they won for me and I get all the gold medals. Every single one of the players has to give me their gold medal. It's really cool of them. I don't know. I mean, there's a bazillion things we could talk about. We don't need to talk more than 45 seconds about my winning in daily fantasy, or you will probably end the show and come to Buffalo and kill me. So we don't need to do that.
I can't afford the toll.
There's, there was a lot of great hockey. I mean, and I know that you say it, and I know you're not actually joking because, I know you did watch some of the women's game, and I won money on the women's games too, and they were fun to watch. And I was watching Switzerland and stuff. All of the hockey was good. Everything was good. Everything went as good as possible for the United States hockey fans in the end. But yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to touch on about the Olympics? I mean, I don't think we need to get into which players raised their stocks and which players lowered. It's who fucking cares? But is there anything you want to say overarching on the Olympics, or have you moved on?
No, I mean, I'm incredibly salty that I lost my ass on the gold medal game, despite Matt Boldy scoring immediately.
Yeah, you did captain Matt Boldy,
just
so it was
the
tough.
literal first thing that happened was yep, I'm winning all the money today. And there were 8.4 expected goals, and somehow a goalie's optimal because it's a 2-1 game. Just really incredible stuff. Great work by me.
I mean, I captained Hellebuck, so I squeak out the dub, but I mean, it didn't go all the way, but I squeaked out a small win there just to close it out, just to be safe, just to make sure I had enough. Triples is best, and winning 12 of the 12 slates was really quite something. Yeah, great times. Olympics were awesome. I mean, I don't think we had any plans to talk about. There's about 100 podcasts with better looking, more talented people than us that talk about all the other stuff going on in the hockey world. I think unless if there's anything you want to say, then I'm good to really just break it into we can joke about it. We can talk about DJ getting the Medal of Freedom, although I think I'd get the opposite. I like kitties. I think I'd get the Medal of angering Matt if they make a medal for that quite yet. They should if they don't. But I don't really know if there's anything you want to say, or if we just are going to mainly ignore the main storylines.
No, I've got nothing. The Olympics was clearly an information grind, so it feels almost impossible for me to have lost. I'm not oh wow, but some of the shit that was going on in the lobbies was inexcusable. Yeah, and I still couldn't get. I still couldn't. There were slates where the goalie that wasn't starting was 50% owned. It was just
my wife is this can't be something you're doing that can keep happening. And I'm like, well, if the Swiss goalie is 50% owned that isn't starting, I don't know what to tell you. I kind of can't. I can lose still. I certainly could lose, but I'm basically just taking a massive edge on the entire field immediately, and then I have to worry about Matt winning. So, I just sort of can kind of cozy my way around the top.
Yeah.
It was it was fun. You did win one slate. Like you won.
Yeah,
You
I won
completely
a $10 contest for $90 to first place, finished in first by like a mile and a half, but guess
by a
what?
million points. Yeah.
there was
You played the 100. What are you talking about?
oh, I'm sorry, the 11-person 100 that got me $400. Yes, that really made up
Where
for
did I
the
make
day
it a
of
year?
losing.
Well, it was fun. I
Yeah, I
mean,
broke even that day. Cool. Um
the Olympics were fun. Everything was great. Happy that everyone is having a good time and no one's mad about anything at all. And we can move on to the NHL now.
and the Sabres are back being the best team in NHL history. Hopefully they will come up again soon, but yeah, we have
Before
I think 12 games on the docket. Um
it is 12.
yeah. So lots of news, lots of stuff
Oof.
to pay attention to. Let's just start it off. DJ, are you just looking at the Sabres score or something?
I
Or
saw that, and then I saw that my goalie has given up 4 goals. So rest in
yeah,
peace to tonight's slate. Thank you, Jory Decor.
yeah.
Yeah, we move on to
We're so
Thursday.
back. We're so
We are
back.
back.
It's the normal.
My
It's the
lineup
normal
was
shit
winning
now.
money, and then my goalie pooped his pants, got back into the goal, peed his pants, and then realized he actually pooped while he peed his pants. So
All
now
right,
we
here
move
we go.
on to the next slate.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah. Way too many games. Columbus at
Yeah.
Boston, Tampa, or sorry, DJ. Do you have an overview prepared? I guess you're the guy who does this normally. I don't know
I
what
mean,
the
I'm not going
deal
to
is.
go into every single game or anything. There's a lot of red on the sheet right now. There was a ton of teams playing a million games back to back to back. The main storyline will be the players on the U.S. and Canada team that are going to be not very well rested. Some of them are not playing unexplainably. Some are not playing because of
Oh,
injuries. But there's so much to cover there that it's like, how could I possibly do a full overview? It would just be a waste of everyone's time. There are 7 birthdays on the NHL calendar tomorrow. I'm not sure of all the teams that are playing. So I'm just going to rattle them off quickly. Barclay Goodrow, Mikael Granlund, Ben Jones. I don't think he'll be playing. Victor Soderstrom. I don't even think he's on any team right now. Logan Stankoven, Jacob Trouba, and Alex Turcotte. So lots of birthdays.
I think
Lots of.
Turcotte, and who was the first one? Goodrow. I don't think.
Is he playing for San Jose right now?
I don't think he's in their lineup.
Yeah,
Let
2
me check.
Ducks. Yeah, I don't think he's in their lineup. The
Let me
Ducks don't.
check.
Oh, they play tonight.
Oh no, he
Play
is
tomorrow.
fourth liner. There we go. We got him. Barkley, Goodrow, and Trouba. So there's your narrative angle.
Yep. So it's a huge slate. I think that a lot of the red is a bit disingenuous. A lot of times after breaks, we see quite a bit of up-tempo hockey. It might take a game or two to really get back in the swing of things after players are, off in Mexico. If they're not off in, they weren't off in Italy. I'm sure plenty of them were having a good time and getting back to the swing of things. But anything else you want to say? We're getting some shout outs here to
Yeah.
many of the moods dudes throughout the DFS season.
Yeah,
Damian,
Tiffle's not a guy for me. Leon Dreisaitl's buddy is a fun story, but not something I'm putting money on. Damian Riot, though, I mean, I was so close to just making my season on what a Riot. Okuliar, is that his name? I think it was.
yeah,
And Macklin. I had a 4 parlay that was like 15K on $20, and Elias Pettersson got benched instead of scoring. So I would have been, here all happy and stuff, but did not come to pass. That was my only good day of the tournament, by the way. So shout out to the people who followed along in my newsletter. I learned during the week that Beehive has a limit to the number of words in an article, so I literally had to delete the update log day by day just to add stuff to it. So yeah, like 13,000 words over the course of 10 days. Absolute sicko shit going on over on mood.beehive.com, but that's why we do it. And yeah, we do it to watch DJ win oodles of bucks on contests that I'm not even playing anymore, because it's like, yeah, like you gotta win to play those, and DJ's like, I am winning, so I'm gonna play those and win those too. So pretty incredible week. Yeah. But anyway, there was one other thing I was going to mention. Shit, I lost it. Let's just get into things. I mean, first came up Columbus at Boston. damn, that's bothering me that there was something I was going to say, but let's just take a look here at the Columbus lineup. Marchment, Fantilli, Marchenko, Voronkov, Monahan, Johnson, Sillinger, Coyle, Olivier. Pretty much no changes for Columbus here. Zach Werenski, we're expecting him to play. Anyone on the U.S. team in particular is a possibility to sit. So, keep an eye out for these Olympics guys. But everyone else here, good to go. They're pretty healthy. Even like Lundstrom's back in the lineup. Matejchuk, I think, came back like the week before the Olympics. And Columbus is streaking right now. Now, Boston's been pretty good too, but any interest in Columbus here as they have taken a new form under Rick Bowness into a world-beating team?
I think tentative. I think that there's something to it. Like, on the road in Boston, first game back. Not sure on if Swayman will be in. I think we're definitely expecting Swayman and Werenski to be going. The top line being fully power play correlated it's not completely rare, but it's a little bit rarer than you might think. And it's really all the guys you'd want, like Marchenko, Fantilli, and Werenski on the season are the top 3 rate shooters. It's by a pretty decent clip as well. So it's not like you're losing out on anything. And Marchment is cheap enough where I think he's still warranted. Like he's not shooting at all. And certainly like just took over the Voronkov role, and they seem to just like him more in it by a lot. So I like that line. I don't really have a ton of interest anywhere else other than the fact that the second line's super cheap in Voronkov, Monahan, and Kent Johnson, but none of those guys are really shooters, and it just feels like it's fine because how cheap it is, but like I don't love it. So I probably just top line or bust. Yeah, not a ton of goodies here, but like Werenski is still in play for sure. Like it's really expensive, but altogether as a 4-man, it's not a bad idea on a huge slate because people just won't be going there.
Charlie Coyle revenge is something that I can get behind. 4,400. He's been on the top power play. I believe we did not see PK or power play units in practice, so I keep an eye. For some reason, Marchment stand. Maybe we did see a unit. I don't know. In any case, though, with Werenski not there, it wouldn't have been a full definite power play, but I'm guessing Werenski's power play 1 if he plays. Shocker there. So I think Coyle will keep that role. He was really good going into the break, and yes, this third line plays a lot if they're winning, especially, and Coyle's been very good. So that price makes sense to me. The second line hasn't really been productive, but you can see it in theory, especially looking at long-term trends. They are better than a 10K filler line. So don't hate Columbus, certainly don't love it. Let's keep things moving into Boston. Boston gives us new nonsense lines. Kuznetsov was Lindholm and Pasternak. Middlestat, Zaka, Arvidsson. Isimont, Minton, Geeky. Jano, Corelli, Kastelich. Geeky is 6K down here on the third line, so not really too much interest in that, even though Fraser Minton was, one of the dudes over the last month before the Olympics who was pretty reliable value-wise. Kuznetsov on the top line, we've seen this story. It's, if you play Pasternak, you can mix in a cheap guy, but he's very much not correlated strongly with Pasternak's smash games, I would say. So, tread carefully. And then Middlestat, Zaka, Arvidsson has been a line for a while. Arvidsson especially has been good enough to sort of carry them from a floor and rates perspective. And if they get a couple goals, obviously for 11K, they could be good. I don't think this game is top of my list. So I'm pretty much good here. Charlie McAvoy's up at 6K. Like, give me a break. Couldn't even score a goal for me on my Gold Star bet that he would score 1 goal in the entire fucking tournament at, I think, 2-1 it was. He never did that, even though he's playing with Quinn Hughes, who makes goals for everyone, including Brock Faber. But no, Brock Faber scored away from Quinn Hughes. Charlie McAvoy didn't, though. It's fine, Charlie. It's fine. We're fine. Everyone's fine.
Yeah, you seem fine. What percentage of David Pasternak's 71 points on the year are primary points, either goals or primary assists?
I'm going to go 58. He's been incredible.
85.9, almost 86. We'll call it 86%. Of the 71 points, only 10 are secondary assists.
How many points is that? Okay, yeah. I was guessing points, not
No,
percentage.
I said percent. So you were still wrong, but you were closer than yeah. I was gonna say.
What was the number?
61.
Okay, got it.
Just an interesting, I don't know, just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you're playing Boston, you're clicking the button. I mean, he's double the point total of everybody else. He is, the guy that's assisting on everything. Like if you played Pastrnak Geeky, I wouldn't think you were dumb, but it's just probably unnecessary given the price. I'm not going here, but like Pasternak's a pretty good play that but like it's going to be, I don't think, very common. People stopped picking on Columbus. It feels like on a 12 game slate with so many options, it might not be super popular.
Yeah, 9K Pastrnak will be very, very low owned unless does this game have a 6.5 total? Yeah, it does. We'll see.
Yeah.
I know
it's
a
I kind of
3.4 team total. Maybe the field gets there.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Tampa at Carolina. Tampa. Anthony Cirelli was noted as likely returning on Saturday, so it sounds like he misses this one. Cooper's not with the team due to the death of his father, so I don't know. They're putting the boots to Toronto right now, but has anyone not done that in this season? Heading into Carolina, certainly a different story. They went 11-7, so point. Kucherov going to play a ton of minutes here. We'll see what the final count looks like. Gonçalves ended up playing mostly with them, to my eye, instead of Hagel here, but that's who they listed as the top line. So just it is what it is. I think Braden Point here is a good value. He scored on Wednesday already, so a little bit horse out of the barn there. But 6,300 for 20 plus minutes of Braden Point, if he's anywhere close to back, seems too cheap. Especially with Kucherov, it's just obviously if you play Kucherov, Braden Point's going in your lineup. But yeah, the matchup is tough. The back-to-back's tough. I don't think there's anything here that I will be chasing myself.
No, back-to-back. I mean, the Point's a good value, but yeah, you covered it. I mean, I'm not going here. Like Hagel is astronomical. He was like 8K. He's coming down in price. I get that there's like, 5 horsemen here type feeling, and it's just we got to keep things moving, I think, and back to back against Florida is just tough. But then again, I mean, the only thing about is it Florida or is it Carolina?
Carolina.
Oh,
Florida is Toronto.
Yep. Florida's Toronto. Yep, wrong name. And it's against Carolina, which is obviously a very tough matchup. Of course, there's a few guys coming back from the Olympics, but also Logan Stankoven's birthday, so it kind of just is a wash at that point.
Did you say that? Huh? I didn't register that. Okay.
That is totally fine. So yeah, birthday boy, please highlight him in magenta, I believe, is a new birthday color. So yeah, perfect. Damn, yes, everyone knows. Thank you. That is it. That's correct. Birthday colors. Okay. Perfect. Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis. I think Svechnikov is kind of just one of the guys I continue to want to play, and he's just like not as involved as the other two as far as the score sheet. But when he is, it can come in, massive amounts because of the rates, and it's just the price isn't good enough for this line to play it, in my opinion. But it's probably what I'm most interested in. Gostisbehere has been really good. Like I feel like a bet tomorrow I'm going to make is Gostisbehere shots, but I don't know if there's anything on this team that I'm like inherently going to the mat for. Like I think I've faded Carolina 1 all season long, and I just don't really think I'm going to pay 18, 19K against Tampa on a back-to-back here for it. So
yeah,
anything you want to differ on?
It's possible that in Italy, Seth Jarvis learned how to score more than 25 fantasy points from his vaunted teammates there, right. But that is something he has done. I think once or twice this season. That's it. For 6,600, you kind of want that in your bag, and yeah, I saw Cooch scored from Point. So just
thanks, Troy DeCorb.
Typical Kucherov night, just another multi-point night from the guy who's gonna not even sniff an MVP ballot, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, the haters are gonna hate. I mean, there's nothing we can do about the haters. There's nothing we can do.
Could never be me. Um, yeah, I mean, I look at this lineup and it's the same thing. Like, I really want to like Sebastian Aho, but when you're talking about a 20K line against Tampa, yeah, it's going to be Jonas Johansson. Like Victor Hedman might just be completely cooked. So maybe there's a path here, but I don't see it. Jordan Stahl gonna eat the minutes against Kucherov and friends. You could talk me into a Stahl Ehlers mini. That's about it. Let's move on. And I like Gossesbear. I will say that too. He's been awesome. So let's head to Toronto. Um, Remains to be seen what they do in the aftermath of this likely loss, especially if they get shut out here. But McMahon, Matthews, Domi, Michelli, Tavares, Nylander, Nyes, Watt, Robertson, Lorentz, Lawton, and Yarncrow. Morgan Riley on the top power play, 4,400. The thing about this is that Florida seems like a team that is just selling their season. I mean, Matthew Tkachuk was like literally on video online, like chugging beers at 5 p.m. today on Wednesday. Like, I don't think he's, coming back ready to drag this team to the playoffs single handedly. Kind of seems like they're just dealing with the cards they've been dealt. We'll see. But, Kachuk has not looked like Matthew Kachuk for the duration of his return from injury. He wasn't especially great at the Olympics, I thought. And, it's not like they're getting Seth Jones back. They're not getting Barkov back. It's like, this Florida team is a bit undermanned. They've not been very good. I do think Toronto's in for a bit of a bounce back here. And Austin Matthews was excellent at the Olympics. I mean, just the two-way game was, unmatched, and everything else. He looked fast and, in control of the play. And he's going to be 3% owned on this slate, right? Like, no one's paying 9,500 for Matthews. But any thoughts there?
I largely agree. I mean, I think I'm definitely leaning the Toronto route over the Florida route. As we just mentioned, Toronto's now down 3-0. They've not looked good. I didn't love the lineup tonight. My mouse isn't all of a sudden working, so I can't even see what's on the screen right now. And I'm assuming that, you have what we need here. Like, my struggle is playing Austin Matthews at 9,500 without either line mate. And it's like, all right, well, you can play one of his line mates, of course, and say, fuck it, like McCann or Domi. I would rather go the Matthew Nyes route, as you're pointing out. I just wish he was back on that line. Like, things are not working. I would prefer McMahon, Matthews, and Nyes. Maybe there's some reason why McMahon and Nyes don't go together. But it seems like they could. I don't know. They just don't put them together ever. They're on the same wing, I guess, or something, but it's frustrating. If Nylander was with Matthews again at 5-on-5, kind of seemed like that was going to stick, I'd probably be right back to it. But like, this iteration's a little bit frustrating to me. So I don't know if I'm going to go here. It's not like a high, like so far the first three games, like I do think I'm most interested in Columbus. I think that's where I would land right now, but you're paying a pretty high price for Columbus 1 plus Renski when you could probably play Matthews, Nylander, and Nyes instead. It's a debate at least. So this is a thought process I'll probably work through.
Yeah, Matthew Nyes would be a great 630 type guy to just be like, yep, he's playing with Matthews, like play that. Even if you can't fit Matthews, Matthew Nyes was pretty good last year. And honestly, he's got the point production this season. He's been poor as of late, but we think that's due to injury. And so he had a bunch of time off. Young guy, had all the pedigree in the world coming in. So like this little spell of 20 games where he's not been a, great player, I'm a little bit willing to discount that when you're considering a matchup that I like. And, if he gets shuffled up the lineup surprisingly and whatnot, like everything sort of lines up for this being like one of the sneaky plays of the night. So keeping a close eye on that at 6:30 tomorrow, but not going to beat a dead horse any further. On the Florida side, we have no idea what their lineup is. Like I mentioned, there's a better chance Matthew Tkachuk is drinking at a bar this on Thursday morning than he is even at morning skate on Thursday. So, like, I don't think we'll get a lineup from them until warm-ups anyway. And I got to say, at these prices, I'm not all that interested. If you got Lundell, Reinhart, Luosterainen, that would be about it for me. But otherwise, if Marchand plays, he's 6K. If, Bennett, Kachuk, they're between 6 and 7K. Reinhardt 67. Like, it's It's pretty expensive across the board, except for Lindell Luostarinen. So that would be my preference. If I were to forced to play a Florida piece, but I won't be, so I'm likely not going to. And I have no interest in Bobrovsky for 8,400. Like, I get why the line is the way it is, but I don't think this is a massively favored Florida spot at all.
No, it should not be. And we talked about it before the Olympics, but this team was very, very heavy with Olympians. And not only is Matt Tkachuk drinking, but like there is concern that he's still injured or maybe slightly re-aggravated something. There's concern that Brad Marchand could shut it down for the entire season or need surgery in the offseason and is not at 100%. Like Reinhart was not impactful for Canada. Is that just because they didn't utilize him or could not find the right fit for him on a line? Or it just, these guys have played a ton of hockey in a very short period. And we talked about it with Tampa. We talked about it with Florida last year. Eventually it does come for us all. And I mean, I'm not saying they're unplayable, but there's 10 Olympians on this team that all were just playing hockey comparatively to many of the other teams that were not. And Toronto on a back-to-back is just not something I want to exploit. Like Matthews should be able to eat anyone's lunch. I'm just going to sit this one out for sure. So not much more to say. I do agree with everything you just said.
Yep, and I was even concerned, Gus Forsling didn't look great at the Olympics either. And it's like, he's been so bad all season, and it's like he can't even ramp up for that. Like, I don't know. That's tough. I don't really know what Florida does from here besides punt the year and wait for Barkov to come back. Islanders at Montreal. Islanders confirmed lineup Palat, Horvat, Barzal. So a nice little loaded top line there. Druin, Ritchie, Heineman, Lee, Pajot, Holmstrom. Who cares about their fourth line? Matthew Schaefer back in our lives, 5,800. Pellick, D'Angelo. I can't really say I have a ton of interest here in the Islanders, but it is nice that Horvat, Barzal are together right out of the gate coming off the break. Unfortunately, they're 13.4K. So while they've been somewhat productive, I don't think their production warrants 13,500 on the road against a solid Montreal team. So any interest from you in the Islanders? Patrick Waugh revenge, I guess we should mention.
Is Patrick Waugh revenge indeed? I'm kind of interested in this game in general. This is the most interesting game so far by I think a decent clip. I'm more interested in the Montreal side, but I have no problem looking at the Islander side because there is some interesting value, like the power play. If it is what you have on the board here, and keep an eye on it tomorrow.
It
like
is.
Players are kind of
The only thing I wasn't sure of, sorry to cut you off, is Anthony Duclair was a placeholder for Horvat, I believe. So that's why I have Horvat in, I guess. But Duclair's not in the lineup, so like basically to just explain this, they ran power plays 2 practices ago, and then Horvat was at practice today. And so Duclair was not in the lineup today, but he was in the power play 2 days ago, so I plugged Horvat in there. That's how I got to this. So I do feel like it's pretty accurate that Ritchie and Holmstrom will power play 1 with the other main 3.
Yeah, so I do agree with that. So I think that being said, kind of like Horvat, Barzal, I don't hate the idea of Ritchie on that second line, which just I think the problem with that second line is that if they get the lead, it's just not going to see much ice time. You're going to see way more Lee, Pajot, and Holmstrom, but you'll probably see a lot of them anyways. So there's some punts here. There's some interesting guys. Schaefer, Horvat, and Barzal is a 3-man that I'm just really not afraid to go to at all. I don't think there's any need to play Palat with it. He's just not all that impactful of a player in general. I just think the problem is I like Montreal a little bit more on the other side, and you can't really play both. So if you're going to play Montreal on the other side, maybe you go to a Holmstrom as a punt. Do you have I guess the main question is like if you were one-offing either Holmstrom or Ritchie, do you have a preference between the two? I mean, position is a factor here, but and price is a little bit of a factor.
Ritchie. But I like Ritchie's game, like just throwing that one out there. That's not a surprise to anyone who listens to this podcast. But this season, I mean, just looking at the stats here on this page, you look at his primary point rate on the year, it is almost at the same level of Barzal and Horvat. He is 33% better than the league average forward at primary points per 60 minutes, and Barzal's at 41% better. Horvat's at 51% better. So you're basically talking about a rounding error away, and he's 3,100 playing with Juin and Heineman, who are solid offensive players, and getting power play one run. For a coach who adores him, remember, like, I've said this nonstop all year, but like, I don't think Richie's getting banished to the fourth line unless he actively sucks, in which case, like, he's already tanking your lineup. He's not a guy who's going to play 3 shifts and then just gets, annexed to the nether regions. Like, it's all good for him by my eye. So I like Richie a lot. Not sure that the game is high on my list like it is for you, but it is a 6.5 total. So I will revisit, especially as we get more news from elsewhere on the slate. On the Montreal side of the house, Alex Newhook is back. He's coming in on the fourth line. So Oliver Kapanen keeps the line 2 gig, but loses power play 2. Bit of a bummer there. 3,600. He's been awesome on that second line. Slavkovsky 5,300 is I think my most interesting piece. We saw it again at the Olympics, but he's been this good all season, and he does feel like he's really starting to dominate things in Montreal. And Suzuki Caulfield will of course gain a lot of the attention, but Slavkovsky's a little bit cheaper, and I think has equal upside. So I like Slavkovsky. Is there anything else here in this game that you like, DJ?
Yeah, I really like the top line. Doc, Suzuki, Caulfield. That's where I want to go. I get Slavkovsky was just unbelievable in the whole tournament, and like it was. I mean, again, like I'm not saying I'm the only person in the betting DFS space that was sort of just continuously blaming the Slavkovsky drum, but I do want to pat myself on the back a little bit as someone who was just betting him and mainly probably actually losing because I probably only bet him on the games he decided not to get points and score goals. But I do think that this is like a player that the blossom was coming and it was really showing up towards the right before the Olympic break, where we were seeing that 7 shot on goal game with a goal, and like we were starting to see more of an emergence of him as a very big difference maker. The former first overall pick, and I do think that Demidov is a factor in that. I think Kapanen, there's a reason he was on the Olympic team, although he didn't play a ton. He did end up mixing in the the bronze medal game and looking like an impactful player. So like I understand going to the second line. I'm still just sort of like pretty all in on the top line here. I think I just play the whole thing. I get not playing Doc. I get why you play Lane Hudson, but I think I just go, Doc, Suzuki, Caulfield. I think it's one of my favorite stacks of the night. So I'm going to be pretty heavily looking into what that looks like in all aspects.
One thing I will say though, just to sort of, before the break, Montreal was on the road, but they did go to Hudson Dobson like right before the break, and they used Matheson Gooley like in a hard lock with Caulfield Suzuki, which strikes me as their shutdown pair. They want Suzuki to be the shutdown center and Matheson Gooley to be their shutdown pair. It makes sense. That does leave Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov playing with Hudson Dobson, and that sounds like a lot of fun to me. So that maybe tilts it more toward line 2 for me personally. And now in that game, that the game right before the break, it didn't actually turn out that Dobson played a ton with that line. But I would imagine that, in control of matchups, you would get those guys out for the ozone draws that matter and whatnot. So there's a slight correlation boost there that I like Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov a tad more, in addition to it being a bit cheaper as well. But, if you want to play power play dudes and play Suzuki, Caulfield, Hudson, that's not bad. Just something that I noticed and kind of like piecing it apart. New Jersey at Pittsburgh. New Jersey coming off of, did it finish 2-1?
2-1
that game. Okay.
Yep. Timo scored, but then Sabres finished it off.
All right. So Timo from Bratton Hughes, possibly if the goalie pulled, I guess. Not positive what the lineup will look like, obviously, now, but they had Connor Brown in the top power play. Like, I get it. You got to put someone there. So I'm not going to be like, oh, put Timo there, because I've said it a million times. We've seen that. Doesn't really work. But just funny that Connor Brown is, the chosen one there on the top power play for New Jersey instead of, Cody Glass or somebody who's actually good. But I don't know what this lineup's going to look like. These guys can't score. They didn't magically fix it because Jack Hughes scored a 3-on-3 goal. He looked awesome at the tournament. Not going to demerit there, but something about this team is just inherently broken. So, yeah, that's all I got. Any interest in New Jersey?
Not on a back-to-back against kind of a weird Pittsburgh team that we're going to get to. Not a ton. I mean, yeah, there's just something very weird about this lineup, and like, I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think I'll probably just sit this one out. Luke Hughes is getting closer to returning. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I think, am I wrong on that, or did I not see that?
That is correct. He should be back soon. I don't think he's eligible to play though
I
until the
don't think it's
29th.
that might be right.
I think he's on LTIR.
Maybe that's what my brain is like not thinking it could happen here, and it's probably because it can't. Yeah, I think I honestly just on a back-to-back with players like Jack Hughes coming off of a bender, plenty of players that were just playing in the Olympics. I think I'm not going to go here. Timo not in the top power play is something we're used to, and like his rate stats and everything were really leading in the right direction. And he looked great in the Olympics as well. Like he was a very, very impactful player on a team that, didn't have as many NHL guys, but was pretty competitive in the Swiss. So I'm not saying that gives him any sort of a boost, but I do think it's like, what's weird is like he didn't even play with Nico for much of the tournament until Fiala got hurt. And it's like they play on the same team and on the same line together. I thought that was very strange. I don't know. Something is just broken with New Jersey Devils players. Maybe they all hate each other. I don't fucking know. But I think it's unnecessary here. And I think it will be looked into. Like people were playing the Devils in droves before we went on break, including me sometimes, watching them not score any goals and then going like, well, you know what might work next time is that.
We're back at it tomorrow.
And like now with no Crosby for the Penguins, it's like, are people just going to say, it's pretty cheap? Because it is. It's pretty fucking cheap. But
and
like,
I still can't win.
Bad.
Can't win.
They don't score goals.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the minutes from Wednesday night, and you'll never believe this, but Cody Glass, Arseny Gritsuk played like 12 minutes. Every time, I mean, I Hockey Viz hasn't updated to see like their actual on ice performance. Maybe they were terrible, but like you just gotta play good players, and those guys have been their best performers going on a month and a half now. And somehow Lenny Hemi Naho is like actively doing stuff out there, and it's just like actually we're not. It's
Sheldon
okay,
Keefe
right?
might just be a fucking dodo bird. Like so at some points you just gotta like. I didn't think he was a good or a bad coach. I guess just like didn't think he needed to be fired in Toronto.
Speaking of former Toronto Maple Leafs, let's go to Pittsburgh where Kyle Dubas has done it again, turning Brett Kulak into Sam Girard plus a second round draft pick. I mean, what the fuck, man? Like, Sheldon Keefe might be a donkey, but man, I think Dubas is one of the sharper guys out there. So, little revenge there for Keefe and Dubas, I guess. Were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I'm like, that trade was, I think, way more predicated on. Yeah, I think the trade was way more about Girard's contract than it was anything else. I mean, I think he's a great player, but like Pittsburgh takes on his money, so Colorado can conceivably do something else.
Apparently, play Brett Kulak.
More impactful. And apparently played Brett Kulak. We'll see how it works out for them. It hasn't worked out for anyone else, but it might just work for these guys. It's tough sledding. I was at the Avery Hayes initiation game where he scored twice on the Sabres. I'm one of few people that see a Sabres loss nowadays. 6 shots on goal, 2 goals, ho-hum, 10 minutes, doesn't matter. I just love seeing a 26 expected fantasy point. That's a fun time.
Impressive.
Raquel, Rust, Chinikov, Malkin, the gang's all here. No Crosby is not great. I don't have an issue with going to the Penguins. I just think the Devils are not only bad at scoring, but they're also not the best at allowing other teams to have a ton of fun. Kind of a recipe I think I'm just going to probably completely sit out on. I just don't think I'm paying the price for Raquel or Rust without Crosby. I wasn't paying for them with Crosby either. I think the only piece here for me is Chinikov and like maybe taking a couple looks at Samuel Girard at minimum salary, getting a role increase.
Here's the game from a 5-on-5 expected goal standpoint. Buffalo had them in the fucking blender. So okay,
Shocked,
that
except for
is.
Cody Glass.
Well, yeah, he just didn't play, so nothing happened with him out there. God, is Cody Glass
Yeah,
gonna be my next Ryan McLeod, where I just sit there going, play him more, play him more? Um, we'll see,
I
we'll
could.
see. But
Yeah,
I do
the
think for
Sabres getting
Pittsburgh.
Cody Glass for like literally nothing could happen.
Oh,
Could happen.
wait, hold on. No, I'm not going to pull up their lineup right now. But yes, if Josh Norris gets hurt again in the next month,
Yeah.
I will start tweeting that, trying to manifest it. Actually, there's like 2 weeks till the deadline, right?
Yeah, it's second
Yeah.
week of March.
Yeah.
The
Well,
8th or
whatever.
10th
He'll
or
get hurt
something.
by then anyway. All right. I did want to talk about Pittsburgh a little bit because I actually do, without Sid, like kind of like Chinakhov, Malkin, Novak. I think that Novak gets a power play gig that wasn't there for him before. And I think that Chinakhov will get first crack at power play one with Russ out of lineup. Chinakhov slid up there, so that seems possible. Mantha also got power play one time, so it's not a guarantee. But Chinakhov is 3,700. Gino just got 2 weeks off. He's been very good this season.
Yeah.
And then having a break, I think, could only help him. Like he feels like he's in a bit of that Ovi camp from last year, where just Ovi was awesome all year long, but he was like even better after the break because turns out near 40-year-olds need time to recuperate. And then Novak's just a good player. He's cheap, and again, that the role helps. Sam Girard, 2,500. Hey, if you want to play McDavid later, there's an option. You want to play Macklin later? Hey, there's a punt option. I think the minutes will be there for 2,500, and he's a guy who in the past has been a passable fantasy defenseman. So I think it all makes sense for me from a Pittsburgh standpoint. I'm not, playing Avery Hayes or whatever. Like but I do think the guys we know are somewhat interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this team has been shooting a lot. Like of all the teams on the season, they're definitely one that's like, let's shoot the puck a lot and allow the other team to shoot the puck sometimes. And like that is exciting. And the Devils can't score, so if they score, things could really go the right direction. Yeah, I think this is all good. Good stuff on the Penguin side. We move over to Detroit. Welcome back.
Detroit heads
Larkin,
into
Raymond.
Ottawa.
And
Casper, Larkin.
Olympics too, right? He's got 30 goals and 57 points. He made the team, right?
You'll never believe, but Alex DeBrincat, I hear, drinks milk.
Oh, can't bring him milk for sure. I agree.
Marco Casper with Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Cop, Kane, Appleton, Comfer, Finney, Soderblom, Rasmussen, JVR. Simon Edvinsson is back. I think that's huge for this team. I can't tell you whether they were sliding or not going into the break, but it sure felt worse when you looked at their lineup without Simon Edvinsson in it. So do like that a lot for them. I'm not going to play anyone in a Ottawa Senators game, in all honesty. I might tune in to see if they tear down the rink with Brady Tkachuk out there to try and decapitate him. But, otherwise, not a ton of interest here for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a no for me as well. It's expensive. It's against Ottawa, who has just been very, very, very good at 5-on-5, and like I'm not betting through the power play. Marco Casper continued to be great. Continues to be on the top line. Raymond is, I think, one of the more underrated players in the world. Just everything and more was really on display at the Olympics. 60 points in 56 games, I feel like very under the radar. Just not a lot of them goals and not a lot of it through shooting the puck a ton, which is concerning for fantasy output. But it's a consideration. I made Patrick Kane one of the cover boys. Not really because I think he's a fantastic play, but I thought it'd be funny to do Stamkos and Patrick Kane as the cover boys after the Olympics. I don't know why. It's an idea I came up with, but he's playing in this game as well.
I respect that.
It just kind of made sense to me. I was just like,
and he's also 4,600.
He is a player that's going to be a play and back on the top power play. It looks like so. Like I respect the idea that I had.
If you picture Patrick Kane from the last 3 seasons, that's basically who he's been this season. It's not come with great results as of late, but I'm not overly worried by that. Cop, DeBrincat, Kane has been a good line for the the entirety of its time together. So I think the fantasy points will come for him. But again, just not a matchup that I'm super gung ho about. We'll see like what the betting markets look like or whatever. Maybe there's a penalty there, but for DFS, I'm not seeing anything overly exciting. On the Ottawa side, yes, Tim Stutzla's name, of course, I need to fix, and I never remember it until we get to this part of the show. He is centering Drake Batherson and Claude Giroux. I expect Brady Tkachuk to draw in alongside Cousins and Greg. They used Fabian Zetterlund there as a placeholder, I think, because that's how the lineup was before the break. And then Cousins, Pinto, Amadio, Nick Cousins, I should say. The third line, again, same as before, so that's why I'm assuming that stays as it is. And then Zetterlund, Eller, and Halliday, sort of their last guys remaining that I think make up the fourth line. They could have made changes and just the placeholders sort of hid that from view, but I'm going with this as their lineup. Drake Batherson, 5,200, feels like a story we've told many times on this show, but that's about it for me. But let's check Tim Stutzla's price while you talk, because maybe there's something there, but I'm guessing he's expensive.
Got an E in it.
Yeah.
It's 6,700. Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing Ottawa, which is just is what it is. I like many spots more than this. I mean, the problem with Batherson is he's just not shooting like he used to. The points are there, so like there's been enough production that he definitely warrants a play. But I think you're just having to put Stützle with him, and I'm just not paying that price for him. So I'm going to sit this one out against Detroit. I'm not going to go through this game. There's 3 spots we've already mentioned I like more. Maybe even Pittsburgh, honestly. Like, it's pretty close. So, like, I'm just not getting to Ottawa here or Detroit, and there's plenty of spots I like more later. But, yep, here's the lineup. Have at the Ottawa Senators if you'd like. You're going to really need some efficiency to come through, I think, on both sides for either of these to be the stacks you had to have.
Yep. Brady Tkachuk is 77 is, I want to like it whenever I look at it, but it's also, I don't know how much I'm missing out on this big of a slate. So let's keep it going. Chicago rolling Ryan Green, Connor Bedard, Burakovsky, Bertuzzi, Nazar, Moore, Donato, Dickinson, Mikheyev, Teravainen, Foligno, Slaggert. They're pretty much healthy. Noteworthy is that both Sam Rinzel and Artem Levshinov are in the lineup. Sam Rinzel keeps the power play 1 job. He's 3,400. So we'll see if that's like tenuous or not. If Rinzel struggles for a period, do they put Levshinov back there? It's possible, I guess. So it's not quite a auto lock. But Rinzel has been productive from a fantasy standpoint whenever he's been in the lineup this season. And you look at his AHL numbers from the year, which I updated during the break for Olympics purposes. In 21 games, he's generating shots 82% more frequently than the AHL average defenseman per game, which seems good. I think that's something you like from your fantasy defenseman. So Sam Rinzel, one of the best value defenders on the night.
Yep, I 100% agree. I mean, I really like playing Connor Bedard here. Like, we've talked about a few guys that won't get a ton of ownership, and Connor Bedard was just one of them. I mean, in my opinion, like, everything aside, the biggest snub was Connor Bedard from the Olympics. I don't understand it. I guess the injury was a thing, but he came back before then. I just think that this is a top 10 player in the world already. And the fact he wasn't at the Olympics was a very, very big miss by Canada. I don't think he's that far off what Macklin Celebrini is, and maybe can pretty quickly get back to that same level if he gets a little bit of talent around him. And like, the issue is this isn't enough talent around him. There's no Will Smith here to make it a bit better. But at 8,300 against the Predators, I'm very interested. And playing him with Rinzel is just better than what Levshinov offered. Like, Levshinov offered something, but it just isn't what Rinzel offers. So yeah, I'm pretty in on it as a play, and I kind of like game stacking this game just with those two, and then you get to the other side. And I think that other side in Nashville has a few different ways of doing it. But is there anything you want to talk about on the Chicago side, or do you want to say something positive or negative about Connor Bedard?
What? Hey, it was DJ who said it, not me. I look forward to drafting Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini ahead of Nathan McKinnon next year.
I, I, I,
Um,
I'm not even like I'm not sitting here and saying that like he is better than Michael Celebrini. I'm just saying that people are now acting as if it's like, well, it's not even remotely close, and it's like I disagree with that. Like I just definitely disagree with that.
I
Like
mean,
I
yeah,
don't know.
well,
Not
Macklin
before I
should
could
have
say.
tried scoring in the gold medal game if you wanted us to respect him, but he didn't.
I
So
agree
here
with
we
that.
are. Connor Bedard
Here
would
we
have
are again.
scored in the gold medal game. I, what else? You can't prove me wrong.
You don't make
Macklin
the rules.
Celebrini did not. Very much so, did not.
Wow, Braden Point again.
Yeah, he is Giga nuking. Nothing else here on the Chicago side is remotely of interest. Nashville, they were playing well heading into the break. I really want to like them here. But I look at this top line, they're 16.4K, and then Forsberg is playing with Eric Howla, and it's like, can I do that?
Yep.
Maybe. But Marchessault is a guy. He
Yes.
might be playing on the third line. They had Bunting there 2 days ago, and then Marchessault today without Howla there. So like, I don't really know for sure what's going on. We also didn't see D pairs. I think Roman Yossi came away unscathed from the Olympics, but worth keeping an eye on because those would be pretty big deals if they were not happening. Because otherwise, I'm not playing Luke Evangelista at 5K or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
any Nashville interest from you?
Yeah, no, I like Marchessault Forsberg a lot on the other side. Like Bedard, Forsberg, Marchessault, and then Rinzel, like that kind of 4-man, getting quite a bit of the action through those guys. And like I'd love to get Yos again. I just think I might need the cap for something else. Like that plus Montreal one is kind of like what I'd like to build around tomorrow. Um, that's sort of my kind of gold star view right now.
Okay. Somehow at 8 o'clock we have Philly sneaking into MSG to play the Rangers. Um, is that a TV thing? Yeah, it's on ESPN, I guess. So why does ESPN want an 8 o'clock game? I don't know. Don't know.
Hmm.
But here we are. The sacrificial lamb of Sam Ersson going up against Mika Zibanejad and friends. Um, we'll see if Zibanejad can get it done without Panarin, but Zibanejad loves scoring hat tricks against the Flyers. So you've been warned. They may be changing up their lineup after a loss to Washington on Wednesday. I don't know. Check in on that, but we won't know because it's a back-to-back and it's an 8 o'clock start. I don't think I'm playing the Flyers regardless. They don't seem interested in playing Michkov on the right side, which is now Flyers Twitter's thing to talk about. And I think about it and I go, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either. And I haven't really complained about it yet. So count me in on complaining about them not using Matvey Michkov responsibly. While you talk, I'm going to see how many minutes he played coming out of the break against the Capitals.
I'm just busy realizing that Maddie Knies just had 3 shots on goal in the final like 20 like 25 seconds here. To
Did
not
you
really the final 5 minutes.
bet?
I
Did you
bet him to
bet?
get shots.
He had 2
And he
points in
got
like the span of 3 minutes, too. That's fucking.
one was a
You're
goal,
a
and he had 3
criminal.
shots.
You are a criminal.
I'm a
You
criminal.
should be put in jail.
I wish they would do that, but they refuse. They just keep letting me win. Anyways,
Ridiculous.
back to the Philadelphia Flyers. What is there to say that hasn't already been said about the Philadelphia Flyers? I mean, they kind of suck. They have a few players that are not horrific in Zegras and Michkov. They don't put them together. Travis Konechny, hopefully, I mean, you want to talk about a guy that, like, yeah, like you could maybe say he was a snub or maybe not, but like, man, did he need the rest because my friend was looking like a wounded duck out there, still getting points, but boy, was not healthy. So I really hope that they put him in a cryo chamber or whatever and ensured maximum recovery for my friend Travis Konechny. So yeah, it's a good spot against the Rangers. Every spot against the Rangers is a good spot. You're probably going to be shocked to hear this, but I love looking at Michkov here and saying like maybe now they give him the minutes. That it could happen. Maybe after a nice break to think about things, their Nimrod of a coach is going to say, shit, you know what would have probably helped? Is playing a guy more minutes that's really good. Now, Matt, did they play a guy that's really good more minutes?
He got 17 minutes. It's not the 21
Holy
he got last season under
folks,
what the hell is that
welcome
guy's
back.
name? But Brad something. Brad. We like Coach Brad more than Coach Talker. Talk it.
That was their interim coach.
Bradshaw. That's who it was.
Bradshaw. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's exactly who it was. I was like, I feel like you're not right, but you are right.
We need him. We need some Brad back in our lives. Michkov was out there in the 6-on-4 to end the game, so I guess there's some positive signals. I don't know. Kate scored with Michkov on the ice, so I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not playing it.
Life could be worse.
Because the Rangers, well, they still suck, but they get Adam Fox back. It sounds like, and that's a big concern because Adam Fox is incredibly good. It seems like Miller's Zibanejad Trocheck will play. Zibanejad should. He has no reason. He has no excuse. But their Olympians should all play. Igor's healthy, good to go. It's possible that they were just practicing and they're not quite ready yet. But I'm not buying that. They don't play again until Saturday afternoon, so it's not like there's a front end of a back-to-back or anything to worry about. So I think the Rangers are at full bore here, and it's not really that bad. Like, it's bad, but it's not that bad to the point where I want to play Philadelphia Flyers on a 12-game slate when I don't trust their coach.
After a back-to-back. Yeah, I agree. I think honestly, I think you're just taking this game, putting it in a bowl and throwing it directly in the trash can. Totally fine with that. On the Philly side, there's a couple guys, like I said, and it would probably be Michkov for me. Just, again, like if the role does increase, we're talking about a generational type talent that's finally back to where he needs to be at like 4K. On the Rangers side, no interest in Miller, no interest in Trocheck, Zibanejad. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like you're paying a bit more than maybe I'm going to want to pay against the Flyers in a game where I think the Flyers should be a little bit better. But does Adam Fox potentially returning change anyone's mind? Matt, I send it back to you.
No, I mean, I don't hate the idea of like a Lafreniere or Cooley, whoever's on the power play one. I'm honestly not positive which one it'll be, so maybe we just don't find that out. But with Zibanejad and just betting on the power play, because again, Adam Fox is incredibly good. I don't think anyone's getting to this spot, and Sam Erson's been horrendous this year. And the Rangers have owned the Flyers for going on like 5+ years now, if not longer.
Yeah,
so
does score a hat trick every time they play. Shit.
Yes, and like I don't know, they're just not that bad. Like it's fine. They traded Panarin because they're bad this year, but this team's not that bad. And so, yeah, you can say Miller sucks and Trocheck whatever, but like they're fine, and they're relatively cheap. Fine. And they're going to play a lot of minutes if this game's anywhere close to normal. So against a back-to-back Flyers team, like, doesn't seem like too hard of a sell that I need to make. They also don't have a bottom six that can be relied upon. So, like, they're going to play 18, 19 minutes, almost certainly, if not more. I feel pretty good about the Rangers. Don't know if that means I'm playing them, but I do feel good about them. So let's keep moving, though. Long show, a lot of games.
Yep.
Seattle against St. Louis. Let's see. Seattle showing some signs of life. They just
4-1.
They just scored.
Good old Riker Evans.
Yeah. Capo Caco should be back in the lineup. He was a quote maintenance scratch on Wednesday after the Olympics. I think that makes sense. It's not like he's going to make or break their game, and I think that he'll be back in on Thursday. Berkeley Catton playing alongside Stevenson and Freddie Gaudreau. He's 2,800. Keep an eye on him. He's a player that we like. Great offensive skill set. He could be their main difference maker going forward as like a franchise. So if he can sort of take that next step late in the season here, do not be late to it. And then the top line, McCann, Beniers, Eberle. it's fine. They're against St. Louis, but it's on a back-to-back, so that's like the main downside. But 14.4K for a tightly correlated top line, that's, pretty good, is not a terrible way to go about things. Any interest in Seattle?
I mean, St. Louis is so bad that I think you have to be a little bit interested here. No Robert Thomas from the sounds of it.
Yep.
I think that's definite, right? It's 100%.
Definite. Will be back with the team on Friday.
On Friday. Okay. That's what I thought so. Seattle's cheap enough. McCann, Berniers, Eberle. I don't really think there's another option here that I'm at all interested in actually considering. And that's someone that played Shane Wright on Wednesday like an idiot. But that top line is very
who could have guessed
good. Everybody on the planet that has a functioning brain would have guessed it. McCann, Eberle, and Beniers, like that's one of those top stacks you're going to throw in the list against anybody and feel pretty good about it. So no problems. I don't think like Vince Dunn, Brandon Montour, throw them in. Like I don't think you're wrong picking either of them. Like I think Montour just has been better on the season, and Vince Dunn has the top power play spot, and they both have a ton of upside. So like that, those are the guys. That's what you're doing here. Is there anything else on Seattle worth mentioning? Are you interested in playing them? Like I just like this more than the Rangers. Like I think that's really at the end of the day, like why I'm not playing the Rangers is there's spots I like more, and this is just another one of them that's just cheaper. Like I don't know.
It's fine logic. Not convinced I can get there myself on liking them on the road more than the Rangers, but it's fine. I'm not gonna fucking fight you to the death on it.
Do it, please.
I've said my piece. Let's get to St. Louis on the other side because with no Robert Thomas, their lineup looks interesting. Neighbors, Bushnevich, Kyrou, Holloway, Dvorsky, Snuggerud, Berggren, Suter, Matthew Joseph. Jack Finley makes his debut between Toropchenko and Walker on the fourth line there. But this second line, I don't know power plays, by the way. They're just a guess. Didn't see anything there. Second line is 11K for Dylan Holloway, Dalibor Dvorsky, and Jimmy Snuggerud. This is a Moods Dudes paradise of second liners. All very good prospects. I'm interested. I'm not interested. It's Dvorsky was very good at the Olympics too. Like we're talking about a guy who didn't get a break, but he did get like an actual role, and he looked confident with the puck and in charge against best on best competition. Like that, I think that matters.
That matters.
And then Snuggerud's been great.
And honestly, like you're thinking, his role was like all offense because that's what he does. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he was playing 20 minutes a night. He was playing like 15 minutes of like very impactful offensive stuff and like holding his weight for a Slovakia team that surprised a lot of people. So again, I like it. I like everything you're saying here. The Blues might be more interesting than meets the eye. I will be considering that second line. I'm not considering the first line. Somebody, Steel Team 6, whoever it needs to be, someone's got to get Jordan Kyrou out of here. He's getting like I think he's a good player. I think he's a pretty good player. I just we got to move on here. We got to find the best spot for him.
If someone wants to look more closely into Pavel Bushnevich, I would not blame them. I think he was really good going into the break. I don't know how small of a sample you need to look at though for that, but 4,300 there with Kyrou. It's very possible that these guys are on the power play together, and like you can play
4 points and 9 shots on goal in the final 2 games before the break.
There you go. So DJ did the work for you.
You're welcome. Yeah, he went absolutely insane mode. But yeah, let's get to the final couple games here. Minnesota at Colorado, if you're ready.
Yeah, we don't know anything about the Minnesota lineup. I didn't see lines anywhere. I didn't. Obviously, Matt Boldy didn't. Wouldn't have been a part of it anyway. Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber. So kind of just playing that one in the morning, I think, if you want to figure out what to do against Colorado. Is there anything just players-wise that you're interested in on the Minnesota side before we talk a bit about Colorado?
I don't know. I mean, Kaprizov is pretty damn good coming off a break here. Don't hate the idea of the guy that's like, one of the top five players in the world, 10 players in the
I
world.
will.
Just
I will check my
I don't
notes
hate
there
that
and get
idea.
back to you.
Matthew Zuccarello, is he Norwegian? Am I losing my mind?
Yes.
Norway, right? Yeah. I was like, yeah, he wasn't considered at all for. Oh yeah, wait, I don't think they got a team. Okay, yeah, I just think that no matter what, tomorrow if I'm playing Minnesota, it's coming through. Kaprizov. That's just a unquestionable fact for me. Boldy is awesome. Eriksson Ek is awesome. Like there's a lot of really good players on this team. Quinn Hughes, not sure if you watched the Olympics, but guy can play. Was I mean, would you say the most important player on the American team?
Well, is Quinn Hughes getting the
Hellebuck.
Presidential Medal of Freedom?
You're right. Well, Hellebuck in the gold medal, but like, yeah. Um, I don't know. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot
Quinn
to
Hughes
like
was
here,
great.
and yeah. I just think that like I would probably go through Zuccarello, Kaprizov, and then kind of fill in from there if I needed to. And Colorado has some question marks that we'll talk about.
Yeah, they sure do, and I think the question mark is kind of just an exclamation point where they know that this game can basically put the nails on Minnesota as far as the one seed is concerned, and so they just rested Nate McKinnon because, of course, their third line can beat the Utah Mammoth, which it
Yeah,
currently
two of
is.
them. Yeah.
Parker Kelly,
And Victor
and Victor
Olofsson.
Olofsson from Parker Kelly, just classic Colorado stuff. So I think McKinnon plays. I don't think he's injured to the point of he's not going to be Nate McKinnon or whatever. So that is something we need to think about. We're not going to know about it at Slate Lock, but do the people just play McKinnon anyway because he's Nate McKinnon, and Edmonton's also on a back to back and maybe a tougher matchup on the road in LA. I don't know. I'm not totally sold one way or the other there, but it does sort of feel like it's setting up for a big Nate McKinnon spot. Landeskog and Nachos were centered by Nelson today. I expect if McKinnon plays, they just slide everyone down the lineup one center spot, which I have reflected here. So yeah, Landeskog with McKinnon, Nachos, not Lehkonen. We'll see though if something changes when game time comes, but that's what I'm assuming. Second line is just a bit too expensive now. It's $18K for Lehkonen, Nelson, and Chushkin. Like, just play McKinnon, Nachos, Landeskog, and figure it the fuck out, I think. And then Brett Kulak makes his debut here, but I guess is currently making his debut on Wednesday, but not a ton to speak of fantasy wise in the bottom six.
Yeah, Brett Kulak is +1.
Yeah, good for him.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, not really planning on playing Colorado to be honest, but I definitely understand why you play Nathan McKinnon and that he is an option. He is not. I don't think it'll be very popular, but one of these guys is going to have to be the chalk. And honestly, the more we've gone through this slate, the less I feel confident that I know what that's going to look like. So maybe it is just McKinnon and McDavid, and definitely a guy in the next game that we've already discussed. If you're ready,
oh Jesus Christ!
over.
I told you. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be Macklin. Okay.
Yeah,
Calgary.
Okay.
Against San Jose.
The Donkey Fest of the night. Everybody hit your Donkey Fest alarm. Here we are. Donkey Fest of the night. Kadri, Farabee, Zari, Coronado, Backlund. No, it was Cranlin's birthday, not Backlund's birthday. Backlund, Sharangovich. We got Uyghur. We no longer have Rasmus Anderson. Does that matter? Yeah, it does. I like both sides in some capacity. I tend to almost like the Flame side a little bit more. Like, I don't think this Flames team stinks. But are they so incredibly bad
God.
you couldn't possibly click on a player against San Jose? I'm just going to pass it right back to you.
Can't make me do it, sir.
Coronado Uyghur.
Matvey Greedon, 34 hundo. There's an option from a dude who plays. He was awesome in the AHL. He's only, I think he just turned 20. So he's a young guy, and they're using him on the top power play. So that's the best I got for you. I can't do Matt Coronado again. Like, we've tried this so many times, and he plays 12 minutes when I do it, and 20 minutes when you do it. And I'm just done. I'm done with this stupid ass team. They suck.
Okay.
Nazem Kadri's
All right.
5,200. He's gonna bury us one of these days at that price, but I'm betting on it not being here. Um, yeah, I just don't want to play a road Flames team ever.
Well,
Zane
sounds like
Parek
a
is back.
coward.
He's 3K.
Zane Parek is also back. I really like Mackenzie Weegar at 5,100. Like all of the roll, all of the shots, all of the blocks, everything and more. It's tough to click on its own. I think you just play Coronado and be a man and not a gutless coward. He's on the best line on this team. That's
Okay.
what I would do. But if you're a gutless coward, then you're a gutless coward. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't fix people that are cowards like that.
Okay. Well, if you're a certified alpha, you just play Celebrini Will Smith and just
Now we're talking.
like ownership is a fake construct sent by the liberal
God,
media
he's
to destroy the
talking-
masses.
Say his name. Say the third line mate's name.
Kiefer Sherwood.
You're goddamn right it is. Kiefer Sherwood, everybody. I mean, you're not clicking on Kiefer Sherwood. You're just going to be the biggest. Like, Colin Graff was legitimately good on this line. And Kiefer Sherwood couldn't do it.
Are you trying to slander Colin Graff in front of me, the Colin Graff fan?
I am.
Quinnipiac's finest versus Kiefer Sherwood, donkey 50% shooting percentage, bender, hitter guy on a site that doesn't count hits for fantasy purposes. Sherwood?
That is what I'm doing right now. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. I think you got to get yourself checked there, buddy. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be
for what exactly?
Owned.
Okay, go on.
He's going to be extremely owned, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
But he's Kiefer Sherwood. Like, I feel fairly confident that I can play Celebrini Will Smith, and my decision to play Sherwood or not is not actively good or bad one way or the other. Yeah, you can do it. It's a good value option. It helps make things work. Sure, fine. You also don't have to. If this, they were running every variation of the power play, and because now Macklin Celebrini's there, there's 17,000 beat reporters at Sharks games, which is great. We love our beat reporters here. And the 4-on-3, no Sherwood. The 5-on-3, no Sherwood. There was something else. It was like 6-on-4 or something. No Sherwood. Like, just, but 5-on-4, Sherwood guaranteed goal. I guess that's incoming. But yeah, I mean, Celebrini was awesome at the tournament. He's 9,200. Will Smith is one of my moods dudes on the year, and he's been nothing short of exceptional in his non-injured time. And so with the long break and everything, I'm just going to the mat for Will Smith, which of course means I'm playing Celebrini alongside it. I buried the hatchet with Macklin. It's Macklin and Connor's world. We're all just living in it. Bedard, that is, of course, not McDavid.
Yes, of course. The better of the recent first overall picks that I can think of. So yeah, I think we've covered this game enough. I don't know how much more I could really say before I get upset.
If you really want to play 5-dimensional chess here, Eklund, Misa, Toffoli, power play 2, third line correlated. It's possible that Michael Misa just breaks out like crazy in the the final 25 here. So he's got the talent to do it. So just keep an eye on him. Not sure if you need to do it here, but at home against the Flames, they're going to get their pick of the litter as far as matchups are concerned. And I'm guessing those guys all get good matchups, if not a ton of minutes. So there's like your super leverage play of the night.
Super leverage.
Final game. Final game. Edmonton heads into LA. RNH, McDavid, Hyman, Savoy, Draisaitl, Roslovic, Podkolzin, Henrique, Frederick, Mangiapane, Lazar, Janmark. Edmonton was like a slight. They were a pick-em, essentially, against the Ducks on the road on Wednesday. Is there a line posted for this Kings game? Like, are the Kings actually going to be favored at home against Edmonton? Seems possible.
I'll look. The Kings going to be favored at home.
Yeah, it's another pick-em. -110. Wait, hold on. The Sharks are -125 at home.
It's your call. It's your money.
Okay, well, there you go. Moods dudes of the night, the San Jose Sharks, I guess, at those odds. What the hell, man?
To beat the idiots. Okay. Connor McDavid, and he's going to be just steaming mad again after Mark Spector once again asked the dumbest question imaginable.
How is that a dumb question?
It's not a dumb question. It's just a weird thing to do.
I thought it was kind of excellent. Like, hey, you bend the sport of hockey to your whim. Yet at these biggest stages, your excellence is not rewarded. Like, how does that feel? Like, I have no, like that is, I don't know. That's I have no problem
ask
asking
him that right now.
Feels like exactly what people ask Josh Allen every fucking day of his life. Like, I don't know. Why is it different? Because it's
Josh Allen's
David.
having a baby, sir. Think about the bigger picture. Okay.
Well,
have
at least you're
consistent.
At least you're consistent with your defense of.
Why don't we think about that first? He's about to be a father, and you're gonna sit here. I don't know. Yeah, no, I thought it was weird because it's just like you just had the most heartbreaking moment of your life after having many heartbreaking moments in the past couple of years. Let's talk about that right now. It's like that's like an off-season question. If they
what
don't
else
win
you
like,
fucking talk about it? Hey Connor,
when
you're 60 years old. How did it feel to lose the gold medal game in 2026? Like, oh, what? Like, yeah, now's the time, dude. Like, what? Come on.
No, everything that I believe is right and everything that anyone else believes is wrong. If I don't believe it, it is wrong, and that's how it works. Anyways, we move on to what is right.
Big boys can't handle a question. That's the world DJ wants to live in.
They can't. You're right. They are the toughest men in the world, and they can't get asked questions that might hurt their fees. Now, the Edmonton Oilers are playing the LA Kings in a pick'em on a double back-to-back. Connor McDavid, sub 10K, a price that I frankly don't. Honestly, it does feel a bit too cheap for how good he's been. But regardless, McDavid or bust. Draisaitl, maybe. What are your thoughts?
Hey DJ, who's the coach of the LA Kings at this current moment?
God, both of your coaches are idiots. What do you mean? Unless they fired the guy and I didn't know about it.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions. It is Jim Hiller. Therefore, Connor McDavid's gonna gig a nuke on Thursday night. There you go.
Okay. Wow. So is Dylan Gunther on freaking Wednesday night after I took him out of my fucking lineup. Anyways,
to play Nikita Kucherov, and I
think Edmonton scored
13 seconds in. That's awesome. Okay. God. I don't have anything else to add. I rest my case, I guess one would say.
We made a lot of good points there. None of them had to do with the game. I'm not planning on playing Edmonton. I'm not planning on playing LA. There's like 7 spots on a 12-game slate. I like more.
I do want to see how Byfield Kopitar more does. I am morbidly curious because if they play 18 minutes, like, yeah, they're going to see a Draisaitl matchup, which isn't great, but the minutes I think matter more than anything else. Quentin Byfield on the top power play with Panarin. No Fiala, of course, is devastating, but like it does change things up enough on the power play to where I think I could sell myself on Byfield actually being featured here in a way that he wasn't being featured before, just because Fiala was so puck dominant and Panarin being different handed from him sort of makes it a bit more viable for Byfield to be like useful in the bumper. That's about the long and short of it for me. Brant Clark at 4,900 is quite interesting. It's going to be a minutes battle. And if they're winning, it's like, well, he's not going to play much. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But in a game stack, certainly Brant Clark works. And then, of course, Panarin, Kempe, Laferriere could be just great out of the gate. I'm invested in them on Wednesday night, so we'll see how that goes. But not sure I'm going for them on Wednesday or Thursday as they get scored on Wednesday as I'm watching. The camera panned to Brant Clark immediately, so that can't be good news. Let's hurry up though, so we can get out of here and I can see what the hell's going on in this hockey game.
Perfect. I don't plan to play either team. We covered everything that needs to be covered there. Top stacks, guarantee goals. I will start with my top stack being Montreal 1, Suzuki, Caulfield, Kirby Dach.
Shit. All right. Brant Clark blocked it 2-on-1, bounces off the end wall to the front. Dorofeyev shoots it off of Brant Clark into the net. That's about the Brant Clark experience right there. Just absolutely eating bones at every fucking turn. But good try. You did your best, Brant Clark. All right. Who'd you take?
Montreal won.
I'm going to go Chinikov, Malkin, Novak. Pittsburgh 2.
Pittsburgh 2. Okay. All right. Montreal 1, Pittsburgh 2. Montreal 1, Pittsburgh 2. I will go with I don't know what you want to call it, Bedard, Rinzel. I guess we'll call it Chicago 1, Rinzel. I don't really plan. Honestly, if anything, I just play Nazar with it. If I was going to, throw in a third guy with Bedard and Rinzel.
Okay. I'm gonna take Celebrini, Will Smith, and
do it.
I mean,
do it.
I don't know. You can do whoever you want. I'm gonna go John Klingberg because Kiefer Sherwood.
Wow.
I can't imagine playing a 23% on Kiefer Sherwood and being like, "Yep,
Give
this
him
is great."
wood.
So I'm gonna
give him wood.
So
okay.
I'm just gonna play Klingberg instead and take my 5.2 DK points, which isn't even a possible score.
Coward stuff. I know. I get it. Very soft. Very cowardly.
Thank you for your support, by the way.
I will let you go first on goals if you're ready.
I mean,
if you're not ready. I could give you one.
All right, give me one.
I'm going to go with Marchessault. I'm pretty sure you picked him on the last podcast we did.
That sounds like something I would do, yes.
Do I know if he scored or not? Not top of my head.
Nor do I. I know nothing about anything.
He's going to score or not. Yes, and he is.
All right, I'm going Mika Zibanejad, 6,600.
Any reason why?
They are playing the Philadelphia Flyers, and whenever I turn on the TV to watch a Flyers-Rangers game, Mika Zibanejad has scored his third goal of the night.
Yeah, this is true. And you're trying to get that on 5 minutes after the start.
Yes.
Shoot,
it's during the anthem.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Marchessault was what, like 4,200?
We're in the exact same range. Let's go.
4,700. Wait, is that March Mint? That was March Mint. Marches. Yep, I'm right. Okay, yeah, so 6.8 for me. 6.8 gives me plenty of options. A lot of good options. A lot of bad options. I will take one of the good options and go with
I'll take mine if you're not ready.
Yeah, go.
All right. I'm gonna take Charlie Coyle, 4,400 on the nose. Power play 1, Columbus team that's streaking. Of course, reliant on Zach Werenski playing, but I think he'll play. So I think we're all wheels up for Charlie Coyle.
You know what? Give me Nylander. We just talked about how much we don't really care about Florida, and the fact Nylander's 6,800. Marchessault, Nylander, Zibanejad, Charlie Coyle.
Seems good.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Alrighty. That'll do it from us. I guess I'll ask now. Are you around on Saturday?
No idea, honestly. I'm gonna say a very tentative, probably not.
All right.
But I'm really not sure.
I think I will do something on Saturday, even if it's just a solo show.
All I can promise is I will be sleeping in on Saturday. That's all I can promise anybody. Is I will not be getting up before my body awakens, because I have been really lacking sleep.
All right. But on Saturday, it is the Fantasy Hockey World Championship. Good luck to anyone who's out there for that. I will have a newsletter up for the Friday slate. It's a 4-gamer, so expect that on Thursday night, Friday morning. That's over on moods.beehive.com. And also this weekend, I will be working on updating the Zamboni code that I have to run some Sims. Tentative plan is for mid-March sometime to publish a Zamboni manifesto part 2, basically just running more Sims on last year's contest to see if the stuff we gathered from the Sims 2 years ago held, or if it changed or anything else. But the Zamboni is up over on Underdog Fantasy. If you somehow not signed up, I think we can still use code MSP there, so that would be good. And we will do some more of that once Best Puck season ends. I think they pay out this weekend for advancement, and then everything else will, follow along as we are interested in it. Be it, if we replace a DFS show with a Zamboni stream or something, we'll see what the people want and what we want to do specifically. All right.
I agree. I can't wait. We'll talk soon.
Thank you all for listening. From Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good Thursday, everybody, and we will see ya.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.